Persuading others is one of the most important and common functions of writing. In this lesson, we will discuss what a persuasive paragraph is, and then we will learn how to create a well-structured persuasive paragraph. We'll take an in-depth look at the steps that are involved in writing a persuasive paragraph, and then in a later presentation, I'll describe how to expand the concepts behind a persuasive paragraph into developing a full persuasive essay. In this presentation, there will be no outside materials needed. Everything we need or will be referring to will be provided in the PowerPoint itself. The one thing that I ask, and the one thing that we should always do, is take very well-written notes. Pause the presentation when needed, and resume when you're ready. Remember, this is not a straight shot. There's a lot of information being passed. Take notes your way. One of the greatest skills we can develop is note-taking. The way you take your notes is up to you. I am not grading your notes at all. So take your time. Please, if you have any questions, refer to the discussion board. Ask anything, and I will do my best to have a good turnaround of at least within 24 hours, maybe more depending on the time, to get back to your question. If you need to send a private message, please send by email, and I will again get to you as soon as I can. Okay, let's begin. It's exciting. Yeah. What is a persuasive paragraph? If we look at persuasive, we can generally understand that it is to persuade. In this case, you are seeking to convince your reader that your particular point of view should be followed. And you will do it in such a way that they will either accept your point of view or change their mind into believing what you believe. One thing you need to do when setting up a persuasive paragraph or beginning to write your persuasive paragraph is to understand whose point of view is it that you're wanting your readers to consider. Is it yours or someone else's? In other words, are you wanting the audience to accept what you believe or someone else's viewpoint that you believe in or support? As with any type of writing, you have a structure to the persuasive paragraph. It is very important to follow and make sure that you have every part of the structure completed when you are writing. In the writing process for paragraphs, there are 5 main topic areas. One is getting your main point across. You do not want to confuse the reader. You do not want to leave the reader questioning. And you want to provide enough evidence that your topic or your position that you are supporting has enough foundation to stand on. The second, choose a topic that has at least 2 opposing sides. You don't want to just have a one-sided argument. That's not persuasive. That's an argument. You need to be able to convince your audience to agree with your position. The third topic area is take a stance on the topic. Your stance or position is what you will be trying to persuade readers about, and it needs to be focused. Do not try to provide more than one opinion that you support in a persuasive paragraph. Focus on a single idea. The fourth topic area, support your stance with evidence. Evidence provides solid support for your foundation. Do not use information that is based on someone else's opinion on the matter, unless you are specifically using that person's opinion to be addressed using facts or statistics to back it up, or in some cases, to prove a point. The fifth topic area, create a topic sentence using your subject and your opinion. The topic sentence is essential for letting your readers know what the paragraph is about. The topic sentence for a persuasive paragraph should express the subject of the paragraph and your stance on the subject. To continue the writing process for persuasive paragraphs. Supporting your main point. Find examples from secondary sources that will support your stance. Use information from books, newspaper articles, government websites, and other trustworthy sources to provide examples and support for your position. Include examples that strengthen the paragraph. Find multiple reasons why you hold your opinion. Your reasons should have mostly come during your research of the topic. You should also have at least 2 reasons that support your position, yet limit yourself to no more than 3. Incorporate details that will capture your reader's attention. Make it interesting enough that people will want to read it. This is a short paragraph with not too much information, so you need to get straight to the point and make it interesting. To continue the writing process for persuasive paragraphs. Now that we have written the thesis statement, the hook, provided topics, now we're going to write the rest of the paragraph. This is where you're going to restate your thesis and put it at the end. Again, this is restating your thesis, except for you're not going to reword just your thesis statement. Now you are going to include a general idea of all of your topics. Look at the example provided. This is a fairly excellent thesis statement. The best way to support families headed to college is to require that every high school student take a personal finance class before graduation. As you can see, you know what the topic is, you know what position the author is taking, and you most likely know that examples provided show how finance classes help families and how it would be used to support the topic and position. The writing process for persuasive paragraphs finally finished, but you're not. After you write it, don't just leave it there. Revise, revise, and then revise again. At this point, you're going to make sure that you have context in your paragraph. You want to make sure that it stays on topic, that it supports your side, and most importantly, context helps the readers understand not only the topic, but exactly your position. You do not want to leave the reader guessing. Use context information to support your stance. Your topics that you will have, or examples, will be used to help support your stance and to provide context information. You also always want to try and address potential counter-arguments. Do your best to counter arguments. You want to be the subject expert. You will want to persuade people to take your side because you know what you are saying. You have done the research. Finally, does your conclusion summarize the main talking points for your side of the argument? At this point, you want to make sure it makes sense. A strong persuasion has changed many minds against the common belief of the time. Okay. Now we're going to quickly summarize what we have gone over. The purpose of a persuasive essay is to, if you said convince or to persuade, you are right, or anything that could mean that. The purpose of your persuasive essay is to convince others to take your side. Okay, next thing is we looked at both sides of the issue. Remember, always look at both sides of the issue. You want to see the fors and the against. You want to see the agrees and disagrees. Gain as much information as you can. Brainstorm as much as you can so that you can thoughtfully choose a side. All right. And lastly, prioritize your arguments. You want to choose whether to go from strongest to weakest or weakest to strongest. It's your ending, but your ending your ending must reflect your thesis statement. It must support, pull that information that you have written, the facts that you've provided, and add it into your thesis statement to create a strong argument, again, for your position. Remember, don't leave your reader hanging. Don't leave your reader guessing. Don't leave your reader, try your best to keep your reader from having an argument against what your position is. Provide the information. State, this could be a reason not to. However, this is the stronger reason to take my position. All right, that's it. That concludes our presentation for today. Until next time.